Egypt's President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi has reaffirmed the need to halt Israeli military operations. That came during his call with the Cypriot President Nikos Christodoulidis, where their discussion focused on regional issues. President El-Sisi emphasized Egypt's complete rejection of escalating conflicts. He urged the international community to play a more active role in promoting responsibility among regional parties, advocating for peaceful solutions. The Egyptian president also called for a return to the U.S.-Iran negotiations, while stressing the importance of a comprehensive resolution to the Palestinian cause. The Egyptian Parliament Speaker, Dr. Hanafi El-Gebali, has condemned Israel's military aggression against Iranian territories, labeling it a blatant violation of international law. He emphasized the need for political solutions to regional crises and reaffirmed Egypt's unwavering support for the Palestinian rights. Gebali also warned against unauthorized protests near the Egyptian border, stressing the importance of respecting Egypt's sovereignty and laws. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has declared that Israel's recent military strikes have dealt significant setbacks to Iran's nuclear program, potentially delaying it by years. He warned that more intense attacks were forthcoming. Netanyahu said Israel will target every site linked to Iran's regime, emphasizing that the damage inflicted so far is just the beginning. He highlighted efforts to dismantle Iran's ballistic missile production, warning of the threat posed by tens of thousands of missiles planned by Tehran. Netanyahu framed the campaign as a critical battle for Israel's survival, promising to fight until victory is achieved. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has said that Iran does not seek to expand its conflict with Israel, but will defend itself against aggression. Araghchi stated that Tehran does not intend to escalate the conflict with Israel unless compelled to do so. He emphasized that Iran's actions were in self-defense and would cease if hostilities against the country were halted. He cautioned that any attempt to extend the conflict into the Persian Gulf would be a serious strategic error with the potential to destabilize the broader region. Araghchi also accused Israel of attempting to derail diplomatic efforts, particularly the ongoing nuclear negotiations between Iran and the United States. He noted that Iran had been preparing to present a proposal during the sixth round of talks, which was ultimately cancelled due to the recent escalation. And Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke with the U.S. President Donald Trump, condemning Israel's military strikes against Iran and warning of the risks of a wider regional conflict. According to the Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov, Putin voiced serious concern over the potential for escalation, calling the consequences unpredictable for the broader Middle East. Trump, in turn, described the situation as very alarming. Despite rising tensions, both leaders expressed openness to reviving negotiations on Iran's nuclear program. And the U.S. President Donald Trump has warned that any attack by Iran on the United States would trigger a military response at levels never seen before. In a post on his Truth Social platform, Trump denied any U.S. involvement in the overnight attack on Iran, but said Washington could help broker a peace deal between Iran and Israel to end the ongoing conflict. The warning comes as Israel intensified its military campaign, including a strike on the world's largest gas field, prompting Iran to halt nuclear negotiations. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed even stronger actions against Tehran in the coming days. U.S. Secretary of State Pete Hegseth has emphasized that the United States remains in a strong defensive posture while continuing to offer Iran a path towards peace. Hegseth said the U.S. is not alarmed by the recent escalation with Iran, but is maintaining high readiness to protect the American personnel and interests in the region. We're vigilant, we're prepared, he said, adding that Iran still has the option to return to negotiations. Hegseth noted that while recent developments were not unexpected, the U.S. is closely monitoring the situation and adjusting its capabilities as needed to ensure national security.
And the canal areas cannot and will not be controlled by China.
And residents in the central Israeli city of Rehovot woke to scenes of devastation after an Iranian missile struck commercial and residential areas overnight, killing at least 10 people. Israeli rescue teams searched through the rubble for survivors, while firefighters and police cordoned off dangerous zones to keep residents safe. The strike was part of a wider missile barrage launched from Iran, targeting northern and central Israel, following Israel's major military campaign on Friday against Iranian nuclear and military sites. Tensions between the two nations have sharply escalated, with ongoing retaliatory attacks. Yemen's Houthis movement announced that it had launched hypersonic ballistic missiles targeting central Israel's Jaffa in coordination with the Iranian military. In a televised statement, Houthi military spokesperson Yahya Sarria said the strike successfully hit sensitive Israeli targets over the past 24 hours as part of what he called a unified response to Israeli aggression. He praised Iran's role in the assault, calling it a bold and faithful stand against the Zionist forces, and reaffirmed the Houthis' commitment to supporting Palestinians in Gaza until Israel ends its military operations and lifts the blockade.